Eating people and tearing them apart is very fun. Oh, no, that's not what I meant. I was talking about a video game. Hey everyone, my name's Callum with Adamo Gaming, and in this video I'd like to talk about why there should be more video games like Carrion. Now if you don't know, Carrion came out in July 2020 and was developed by Phobia Game Studio and published by a little known company called Devolver Digital. In it, you play as a grotesque, amorphous tentacle monster and you go around killing anyone you come across and also solving puzzles, believe it or not. So, the entire reason I'm making this video is because I am not a horror guy. I don't do horror, I don't play horror games, I don't watch horror films, I don't do horror. I couldn't finish Fable 1 as a kid because the Balverines were too scary. Okay. And to this day I've never finished I Am Legend because it was too scary for me. However, this game is perfect for someone like me because it is essentially a power fantasy, because you actually play as the monster and you get to go around and just, well... Now, is this the first game that lets you play as a monster and kill people? No, of course not. But it's so simple in its design and execution, and it does it so well that it is definitely up there in terms of best monster games ever. The game starts off in what seems like some kind of lab, and you are seemingly a failed lab experiment that escapes and goes on a rampage. The game never explicitly tells you what you are, what you're doing, or why you are doing it. This is all for you to figure out as you play through the game. The game has no minimap, so you are left to explore and find your way around, much like how monsters do in films and in books. The game offers tips in the form of text on the screen, but only when you encounter a new obstacle or acquire a new ability, which I will get onto very shortly. You start off with a little grabby tentacle thing, and you quickly find out that you are stronger than Hercules because you rip open doors and cages with ease, and even people with just the push of a right click. As you progress through the game, you realise that this isn't just some run-of-the-mill cliche secret lab. There's whole areas for you to explore, and even collectibles and secrets to uncover. Essentially, what the game is doing is telling its story through gameplay rather than with cutscenes or big info dumps on the player. There are small cutscenes in the game for when you use a lever or drain some water. This is similar to how Dark Souls games operate, and for this game it works really well because you don't want to sit reading the backstory or history of where you are, you just want to get out and cause some chaos. The gameplay of Carrion is good. Nah, seriously, you move around by holding left click and dragging. The monster seemingly glides through the air with the use of his tentacles like Spider-Man shooting his webs. The transition from one area to the next is seamless, and when you go through the tubes or vents it is fast, which means there is minimal downtime. Eating people and tearing them apart is very fun. Oh, no, that's not what I meant. I was talking about a video game. What about satisfying? Satisfying? We good? Okay, cool. Eating people and tearing them apart is very satisfying. It is also a nice little detail that if you don't eat someone whole, you can just carry their legs around as a snack for later, like a Kit Kat or something. Other chocolate bars are available. Your size, or mass as the game refers to it as, is determined by your health. Full health means big mass, very low health means very small mass. This can also be increased as you play through the game. You create hives in order to retrieve biomass, and also to save the game as well. In each area of the game, your goal is to create a hive which opens up a big door somewhere in the area which leads you into the next area of the game. As you play through the game, you can unlock new abilities to help you progress, and there's lots of variation to these abilities as well. There's lots of different abilities in this game that you acquire at different stages of the game. It's a tried and tested formula that we have seen many times before, but that means it's familiar to us and it never feels forced, because the new abilities are very unique and different and makes you wonder if your little monster will ever be stopped. The first major ability you unlock is the ability to just get big, but it also comes with the ability to ram through wooden walls and flatten any person unfortunate enough to be within 10 feet of you. My favourite ability is a simple one, but it lets you turn into a swarm of worms whenever you come into contact with water, and it lets you squeeze past these square blocky things. You also unlock the ability to shoot out a sticky web which incapacitates humans and even lets you pull levers which are otherwise unreachable, and leads me nicely into the next topic, which is Yes, this is as much a puzzle game as it is a float around and kill everything that moves kind of game. Most puzzles are simple enough: pull lever, open door, job done. But some will leave you scratching your head, and I know that some of them took me a stupid amount of time to figure out. There is also quite a lot of backtracking in this game, which is fine, but it can be frustrating at times, as most of the time you just zoom through each area and you don't even pay attention to your surroundings. All good things must come to an end, however, and Carrion is no exception. After you've been playing for a few minutes and you feel settled in, the game throws the first proper enemy at you. This guy. And he has a gun and an electric plasma shield thing, which makes your little grabby arm useless if you try to grab him while the shield is up. So you have to use your brain for the first time and try and get him to turn around so you can quickly snap him up like the rest of the humans thus far. However, you notice when you're munching on your newest catch that you don't replenish any health and the body stays there. This is the first time the game gives you any real sense of danger, because now there are enemies in the game and you can't eat them to regain health, so now you have to carefully plan your attacks so that you take the least amount of damage you can. Just avoid flamethrower guys, they suck.
Burn in holy fire!
And that about does it. All in all, Carrion is a great game that a lot of other game developers can learn a lot from. It is very simple both in its design and gameplay, but it is executed very well. There's something for everyone as well: action, puzzles, exploration, and even mods. It is currently £16.99 on Steam, and I honestly think it is worth the price because there's a lot of content in this game and it is very enjoyable. Most importantly, above all else, this game is fun, and you can play it for 20 minutes or 2 hours and still make progress and get somewhere whilst you're playing it. That does it for this video. If you liked, be sure to check out Adamo Gaming's other social media accounts where we have lots of content that you might be interested in. Once again, I've been Callum with Adamo, and you've been a lovely audience. Take care.